Good day. We are going to discuss today about information system. So defining what is information system. What exactly does that term mean? So let's take a look at some of the more popular definitions, first from Wikipedia and then from a couple of textbooks. Information system, or the IS, is the study of complementary networks of hardware and software that people and organizations use to collect, filter, process, create, and distribute data. Another is information systems are combinations of hardware, software, and telecommunication networks that people build and use to collect, create, and distribute useful data, typically in organizational settings. The third here is information systems are interrelated components working together to collect, process, store, and disseminate information to support decision-making, coordination, control, analysis, and visualization in an organization. As you can see, these definitions focus on two different ways of describing information systems. First is the components that make up an information system and the role that those components play in an organization. Let's take a look at each of these. Now we're going to discuss components of information system. But before that, what do you think of information system? Some thought of it as something to do with databases or spreadsheets. Others thought of it as computers or e-commerce. Yes, they are all right, at least in part, but information systems are made up of different components that work together to provide value to an organization. So first component is the hardware. It is something you can touch. It is a physical device. It is the physical component of the technology. So computers, keyboard, disk drives, iPads, and flash drives are all examples of information systems hardware. Next is the software. The software is a set of instructions that tells the hardware what to do. It is intangible. It cannot be touched. There are several categories of software with two main categories, being the operating system software and the application software. So the operating system software makes the hardware usable, like the Microsoft Windows on a personal computer and Google's Android on a mobile phone. While application software does something useful, like Microsoft Excel and even your Angry Birds game on your smartphones. So again, software tells the hardware what to do. The third component is data. So you can think of data as a collection of facts. Another, it is the information manipulated by the software. Like, for example, your street address, the city you live in, your age, your phone number. These are all pieces of data. So data is intangible like software. So in fact, the definitions presented all about information system focused on how information systems manage data. So hardware, software, and data. These three first three components of information system make up technology. So, technology can be thought of as the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes. But if we talk about information system, the first three components, hardware, software, and data, comprises technology. Next, the fourth one. The fourth component is people. So when thinking about information systems, it is easy to get focused on the technology components and forgot that we must look beyond those tools to fully understand how they integrate into an organization. So the people are the users. The people are those involved in information systems. So from the frontline help desk workers to the systems analysts to the programmers, all the way up to the chief information officer, are the people involved with the information systems. So these are the users of the data. The last component of the information system is process. So many thought of process as procedures. When you ask one person, how will you define process? Mostly they misinterpret it as procedures. But process is not a procedure but a series of steps undertaken to achieve a desired outcome or goal. So, with this process, we'll be able to bring more productivity and better control. So, businesses hoping to gain an advantage over their competitors are highly focused on this component of information systems. So again, components of information system are hardware, software, data, people, and process. So a recap on the components of information system. First, the hardware, which is the physical device. Next is the software that tells the hardware what to do. The third one is the data, which is a collection of facts and the info manipulated by the software. Fourth is the people, the persons involved or simply the users. And last, the process, which is the series of steps to achieve a desired outcome or goal. Now that we have explored the different components of information systems, we would like to turn our attention to the role that information systems play in an organization. So far, we have looked at what the components of an information system are, but what do these components actually do for the organization? So, from the definitions, we see that these components collect, store, organize, and distribute data throughout the organization. In fact, we might say that one of the roles of the information system is to take data. So here the illustration, we have the data collection. And then after gathering this data, we'll turn it into information processed through our hardware and then transform it into an organizational knowledge, thus making it available again for the people who will be the users of the organization. So as technology has developed, this role has evolved into the backbone of the organization. So these roles changes over the years. So in different ways, but same roles going over and over again. So most likely due to IT advancement, information systems are upgrading. How does modern business influence information system? So with a constant change and evolution of customer preferences and requirements, businesses that can bring about new methods and innovative techniques can survive the market and continue to function as per the customer demands. So we have this Internet of Things. It is the network of physical objects with the purpose of connecting and exchanging data with other devices and systems over the internet. So this is one of the advancement and in the modern business influence on information system. So the implementation of information system can benefit a lot in businesses and helps in controlling the internal and external processes. So what are the benefits of information system? First is new products and services. So a business strives to enhance and gives a strong hold on the future, but needs to instill a well-organized business information system. So the IS can help analyze independent processes and organize work activities. So it entitles the company to understand how the company generates, develops, and sells the services or products. Next is the information storage. So keeping a log of activities is important for all organizations. It is to understand the reason for the problems and to provide solution to the same. So with the business IS, it makes it simple to store operational data, revision histories, communication records, and documents. The storing of data or information simplifies the process of finding the data easily when stored in the information system. Third is simplified decision making. With a business information system, it eases the process of decision making and simplifies the process of delivering the required information and hence assist in taking better decisions instantly. Last is behavioral change. So the IS helps communication better between the employers and the employees. So IS work better as it stores documents and files in folders that can be accessed and shared by the employees. Take a look at Figure 1. This is a framework for information system. So to give a definition of information system, it is the set of formal procedures by which data are collected, processed into information, and distributed to the user. So Figure 1 shows the information system of, let's say, a hypothetical manufacturing firm decomposed into elemental subsystems. So the information system is composed of the accounting information system or AIS and the management information system or MIS. Then the AIS is composed of the general ledger or financial reporting system, which is the GLFRS, the transaction processing system or TPS, and the management reporting system or MRS. While the management information system or MIS consists of financial management systems, marketing systems, distribution systems, and human resource systems. So, under the transaction processing system, we have the expenditure, conversion, and revenue cycles, and under which are sub-components. The distinction between AIS and MIS centers on the concept of transaction. So let's broadly define transaction as an event that affects or is of interest to the organization and is processed by its information system as a unit of work. So transaction falls into two classes, the financial transactions and non-financial transactions. So first, financial transactions. It is an economic event that affects the assets and equities. It is reflected in its accounts and is measured in monetary terms. Examples: loss occurred due to fire accident, purchase of airline ticket, rent payment, cash withdrawal, sales of products, dispatch of goods to customers, receipt of materials, stocks from suppliers. While non-financial transaction does not meet the narrow definition of a financial transaction. There is no transfer of fund between accounts and it is a non-monetary transaction. So examples: occurrence of fire, airline or booking reservation, rental agreement signing, balance inquiry, sales orders, and purchase orders. We have broadly defined what is a transaction, and we have known the two classes of transaction, which are the financial transactions and non-financial transactions. So the information system accepts the input code transactions. So as you see here, the input are the financial transactions and non-financial transactions. Then these are converted through various processes into output information that goes to the users, and this is used for decision making. So this is just a simple flow of how transactions work in an information system and made available to the users. As seen on the information system framework, the IS is composed of accounting information system or the AIS and the management information system or MIS. So AIS subsystems process financial transactions and non-financial transactions that directly affect the processing of financial transactions. So subcomponents: transaction processing system, general ledger financial reporting system, and the management reporting system. While MIS processes non-financial transactions that are not normally processed by traditional AIS, like for the finance, marketing, distribution, personnel, or human resource. In summary, there is no AIS without MIS. However, there are key differences between the two. First is AIS is a subset of MIS. This simply means that the firm's AIS is structured and made available in the MIS. So when salaries are to be paid, the employee in charge will source for staff data in the MIS to post the entry for it. Next is AIS focuses on financial transactions. while MIS on non-financial transactions. So let's say the acquisition of a motor car for a director at 8 million pesos contains both financial and non-financial information. So the non-financial information there is the motor car, while the 8 million pesos relates to the financial information. Third, AIS provides information to a wide range of users like management, employees, banks, government, internal and external users, and so on, using the information provided on the AIS. However, management is the main user of MIS. Fourth, AIS relies on the information available in the MIS. AIS is a subset of MIS, so without MIS, it might be impossible to compute information in the AIS. For example, customer information is available in the MIS system. So to compute transactions in the transaction processing unit of AIS, the employee authorized to carry out such tasks will source for the customer's information in the MIS database. Last, AIS provides tax returns data and financial reports for management and user. So this means that MIS can never provide tax returns, information, and financial reports, unlike the AIS. And in most AIS systems, the data is automatically generated. So the world has achieved its objective of becoming a global village. So people around the world can now reach each other without seeing themselves, and aided by the information and digital system. So thanks to computers, the digital world had also encroached the accounting field. So with modern IT infrastructure, accountants can easily process financial data with ease. This has led to a new subject matter of accounting, referred to the information system.